Hello, hi, and welcome to this wonderful episode of Fall in Love. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about this very beautiful and charming lady who was then a very passionate dancer, loved by a lot of people, and she was in the industry, it be Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada. It's none other than Simran. Well, Simran's love story is again a story where we can learn a lot of things. Well, Simran and Deepak Bagga, have tied knots and they are like living so happily right now. So Simran's life is again she was a very simple girl, a Punjabi girl who was born to a Punjabi family, and she did have lot of dreams like every girl would have, a normal girl but with a lot of dreams. But it was not like she wanted to get into movies, get into glamour. As a very young girl, she was as normal as every kid was, but slowly her life did give a lot of twists and turns. Well, Simran and Deepak's story was not any kind of a cheesy love story. It was a very straightforward love story, but normally what we see around is that people or students or rather children or time they are very happy with their life, they fall in love, then maybe like after 20, 21 they become very serious about their life, they would rather ditch their boyfriend or girlfriend and go. That's normally what we see. But in Simran's life what we see is that during her childhood itself, Deepak was a very good friend of Simran, and he was staying very close to her aunt's house. So every now and then when Simran used to walk into her aunt's aunt, they used to meet and they were like very good buddies. But in Deepak's mind, he did have some sort of feelings for Simran, and he was probably he was a teenager at that point of time, and he was waiting for the right time to propose to Simran. So it took a little bit of time for Deepak to open up, but Simran, like every other girl, she was normal. She did not care much about what others' feelings was, but of course she was very happy with what she was having around. Like all Prince Charming, Deepak, as soon as Simran turned 16, he kneeled down and proposed to Simran, saying that he was deeply in love with Simran. Well, like every other girl at the age of 15 or 16 would have this in mind. They're actually scared at that point of time, because when somebody out of the blue comes and proposes to you, probably Simran was in a wider area where these things normally happen, but still she was a little scared in her mind, and she was thinking what's happening around her, and she said this is not the right time. So of course she turned down the proposal of Deepak, and then what happened was they just parted away. So this is what normally happens in a relationship. If you are not proposing, or if you are not communicating with your loved one at the right time, things might not go the way you think. So probably the age of 16, it's very young, very brittle age where nobody can take a decision, right? So that is where Deepak went wrong. So he chose the wrong time, which he thought was the right time, and then they just parted away, and there was no contact between them for quite a long time. And of course Simran did pursue her career in movies then. So Simran moved to the south to do her movies. She was excelling in everything that she was doing. It be dance, it be her acting career, it be in Malayalam, Tamil, Kannada, Telugu. She was a very popular star at that point of time. So probably she didn't have time to think about Deepak, or rather she didn't get a moment where she could exactly reflect her life with Deepak. So nothing was there to do with in her life during that point of time. And she also have said that she never thought about a relationship, or she didn't want to get committed to a relationship, because her prime focus was her career. She wanted to build her name in the industry, which she did, and she was doing for quite a long time. So where is Deepak's story? Deepak was like nowhere in the scene. No calls, no contacts, no mails, nothing. So that is how their love story did have a break in between, but still they got married. How? Well, if people you believe in destiny, this is what exactly happened in Simran's life as well. So she was busy in South doing all her films. She did make her name. She was a remarkable actress, and slowly destiny brought her back to Delhi, where actually she was thinking of meeting her old friends. So that is the point of time where she thought like old friends did matter. Probably she felt or she missed a lot of things in life during building up her career. So nammade life will also we have to think, when we are busy with our works, when we focus on something, we tend to forget a lot of things. So our forgetting nature ullavarannengil, we forget our friends, we forget all the good times we did have during the childhood. To my surprise, even students who, I mean friends, I did my schooling till 4th and then I shifted my school. I still remember each and every student with whom I studied from 1 to 4. So I find it a little surprising for myself. But people tend to forget a lot of things during their busy schedule. Likewise, Simran's destiny brought her back to Delhi and she got that spark of getting in touch with her old friends, and that's how she gets connected with Deepak again. So probably at the age of 16, people, like for example Simran's case itself, she wouldn't have had any feeling of love, she wouldn't have had any feeling of caring towards Deepak. But during her course of career building, and when she realized that there was something missing in her life, she got back and she connected to Deepak. So that is something which we have to think about. Or a point of life il namukku palapoyum thonum that emptiness, or we feel that there's something we are missing, and our missing a karyam, if you can identify, if you can recall what exactly you are missing and get connected to that particular thing or person, other can change your life. That is what exactly happened in Simran's life as well. She did connect to Deepak and they started, I wouldn't say they dated, but they started talking to each other. Pare friendship oka puduka nu parayunna pole thane they started talking to each other, and now they are matured enough because they both have their own life, career wise aanengilum professional wise aanengilum they have different life, but they've got a lot of things to share together and they became matured enough to take a decision. So your maturity is also another factor in relationships. When you are a child or when you are a kid, or rather when you are a teenager, it is very difficult to be matured. Of course there are people who are matured at a very early stage, but normally what we see is maturity comes after taking a big gap, or rather settling down in your life. So this is what happened in Simran's and Deepak's life. So they took a decision and they decided, okay, yes, we are going to get married, and that is how Deepak and Simran's love story did end up with a marriage. And of course they did share a lot of things after that. Well, in Simran's and Deepak's love story, what we can understand is that they shared a very beautiful bonding. From childhood, they were friends. Of course, they did have a break in between. They came back, again they became friends. They did share their feelings and emotions together. They came to a point where they realized that, okay, this is it. This is the life partner that I'm going to have, and he or she is understanding me so well. And then they took a decision in life that this is it. So that's how their beautiful relationship did start, and still they are having a very good bonding and they love each other. Of course, they're keeping their love life very privately, which is again something which we have to learn. Keep your love life private. So with that note, we are going to wind up today's episode of Fall in Love. We'll be coming back with yet another celebrities untold love story. Till we meet again, it's Cynthia signing off.